over with. First bit of news. The Motor City Machine Guns have re-signed with Impact. Makes sense. To me, they've always struck me as Impact lifers. I don't see how they would fit in WWE. They would do okay in AEW, but they probably wouldn't go far. And they obviously do stuff with New Japan, so why even go there full time? So it doesn't make sense for them to re-sign with Impact. That's cool. Another bit of news. Mickie James is injured. So Impact sent out a tweet on Twitter saying that Mickie James is injured and that they're going to make some type of announcement at Sacrifice. I hope that this is just going to be a work and we still get Jordynne Grace versus Mickie James at Rebellion. I hope that's where it leads. If not, I wish and hope all the best for Mickie James. It sucks that she's injured. Hopefully this is just for storyline purposes, and this gives them more time to build Mickie James versus Jordynne Grace, because where that was headed, it was not going to be anywhere good at all. Because why? Both of them were babyfaces. Mickie James was a babyface and Jordynne Grace was a babyface. When she needed to turn heel, that would have made the most sense. Turn her heel and, add some heat to the feud. It would have made a lot more sense. That's what I would have done. All right. Let's go ahead and get started with the review. So, we kicked the show off with the Design versus Time Machine. Time Machine wins via the hoverboard lock. Makes sense. I have no idea why Sami Callihan didn't get punished for getting involved in the match. And they didn't mention this at all later on in the show at all. So that was weird to me. But he got super kicked in the middle of the match. That being Sami Callihan. And he saved Dana from getting super kicked. So Alan Angels was the one who got defeated by Kushida. Makes sense. Moving on. So we get a weird vignette from the Coven. So Taylor Wilde mentions, magic and tarot cards, all this other new age stuff. And she said that she was never a charlatan when it comes to magic. She was always real. Rosemary is the one who was fake. And Kylan King said that when she shook Rosemary's hand, she knew that it was going to be the end of her. Her fate was sealed. So it makes sense, but I don't know why you have all these weird supernatural teams. You have the Coven, you have the Hex, and you have Death Dolls. Well, you had Death Dolls. Moving on, we get a Baron Corbin-like vignette from Champagne Singh, a.k.a. Raj Singh and Shira. So they're now repackaged. They have a Baron Corbin gimmick where they're making a bunch of money. It's dumb. It's not going to get him over. Raj Singh he's not cut out for this wrestling business. Let's just be honest. He's not. He's not cut out for it. I'm not even being an ass. I'm just being real. He's just not cut out for it. Like him or Shira, Moving on. Eddie Edwards. He was backstage with Kenny King. And so they explained why they reunited. They mentioned the passing of Jay Briscoe. God rest his soul. So that led to them reuniting again. And that they're now family. And Kenny King is going to be the one to take out PCO at Sacrifice. Okay, cool. Makes sense. Savannah Evans versus Deonna Purrazzo. Deonna Purrazzo wins via a crucifix bomb. So she was able to win clean, which makes a lot of sense. I do want Deonna to go back to WWE. I really do. Because she's just now spinning her wheels in Impact. Impact has treated her rather well. So I do think she needs to go back to WWE. It would make a ton of sense if she does. And that women's roster in WWE needs all the help they can get. I think she would do well on SmackDown. I really do. But post-match, Deonna Purrazzo, she got beat down. So Savannah Evans, she hit the full Nelson, and then Giselle Shaw did the running knee, and then they stood tall. All right. So giving them a little bit of momentum for Sacrifice, that being Giselle Shaw. Moving on. Backstage, Rosemary and Jessica, they argue, and Taya tries to intervene. So then Jessica, she storms off. So Taya then chases down Jessica. So Jessica sees a casket. She opens it up. Taya slams it shut. And Taya's like, look, don't look into the light. Don't go there. And then Taya gets sucked into the casket by a hand. And I'm just like, what the hell? Why would they write her off like this? This is so stupid. This is what I mean. This is why I don't like supernatural stuff in wrestling sometimes. I don't mind it, but you don't do it to write people off at times. You don't. It makes no sense. They could have easily wrote Taya Valkyrie off last week by having her get a hellacious beatdown from the Coven. It would have made a lot of sense. Take out Rosemary as well. So then my bad. Jessica, she's running, screaming. I'm just like, it just doesn't make any sense. But who cares? Moving on. Bully Ray and Masha Slamovich versus Tommy Dreamer and Mickie James. Bully Ray gets the win via a pile driver. Post-match, Jordynne Grace comes out to make the save for Mickie because Bully put his hands on her and he was about to put her through a table. So Jordynne Grace was about to spear Bully. He dodges out of the way and she hits Mickie. And so maybe that could have been how she got injured. Because Jordynne Grace is a big girl. She a big girl, all right? She a biggin'. She big. She big. Like, she big. Like, she is muscle mommy. Like, damn. Good God. I could see her in WWE. I really could see her in WWE. I'm not even gonna front with y'all. I could see her in WWE. In all seriousness. And really and truthfully, I think she could do well in WWE. I think that Triple H will probably push her. I do. She would have good matches with Bianca Belair, Asuka, Rhea Ripley, Raquel Rodriguez. So, you know, there are people there that Jordynne Grace could face, and it would be believable. Ronda Rousey is another one as well. So, yeah, I mean, I think she would kick ass in WWE. I really do. Rich Swann, he's backstage, oh my God, with Frankie Kazarian. And so he's pondering over if what Maclin said about him last week is true, about how he's the weak link and how Josh really feels about him. So Kazarian encourages Rich Swann to talk to Josh. And then Swann goes into Josh's locker room to find Steve Maclin going through Josh's stuff. And so Rich Swann confronts Maclin. All right. Okay. little creepy here. Hendry and Dirty Dango, a.k.a. Fandango, versus Moose and Bryan Myers. Bryan Myers gets the win here via the roster cut. Oh, my God. Oh, I'm so sick and tired of Bryan Myers. Man, gives me a headache. I do not like Bryan Myers. I don't. I really don't. Next. So Josh, he walks into his locker room. He finds Rich Swann. Swann tells Josh that Maclin was going through his stuff. And so Josh is confused by everything, and then he goes to the ring. So this is how we close Impact. Josh gets on the mic. He goes over Maclin's 2-year journey to get to the spot, being the number one contender. He even mentions the Forgotten Sons, which is really cool. So Josh says he's not ducking Maclin. He's always been in the ring answering challenges. So then Maclin comes out. He says that he's afraid of failure, which we all are. I like that line because it is kind of scary to fail. Sometimes failure in life can be a good thing, though. It can make you stronger. So Maclin says he's afraid of losing to Josh and going right back to the bottom, which actually does make sense. And that's what I'm thinking about here, because if Maclin loses to Josh, then it's all for naught. Like, at some point, Josh has to lose this thing, and Maclin has to be the guy to do it. There's nobody else. There's nobody else who can do it. Josh has beaten Moose twice. He's beaten Bully Ray. There is nobody else. There's no one. It's either Maclin or bust. So then we're shown footage of how Maclin has been looking at Josh's title defense for months behind the curtain. So it ranges from like the summer of 2022 to February of this year. And then Maclin admits that he's obsessed with winning the world title. And he reiterates this fact. And then Josh admits that he may have underestimated him, but that changes nothing about him being a fighting champ. Josh says, why wait till Rebellion? Maclin declines the offer, and he tells Josh he's going to beat him in his hometown come Rebellion. And then that's how we go off the air. Makes sense. Okay stuff here, but we need more heat to this story here. We really do. I do like that Maclin says that he's obsessed. It's almost like he's a perfectionist, like he's willing to do whatever it takes to get gold, and I do like that. He is a military man after all, so I damn sure respect that. Like, if they ever want to turn Maclin babyface, that'll definitely get the crowd behind him for sure. Impact overall was okay. Nothing, too spectacular. All right, let's get into the predictions. We have, I think, 7 matches. Yeah, 7 matches. So, Hendry versus Bryan Myers for the Digital Media Championship. Hendry is going to retain. Kenny King versus PCO. PCO will win. Jonathan Gresham versus Mike Bailey. Oh, my God. What the hell? Part 2. Probably Mike Bailey will win this, and then they'll probably have the end of the feud. Well, not really feuding, but they'll have the end of the friendly competition probably at Rebellion. So Mike Bailey is going to win that, and then they'll probably end up teaming, because that tag division in Impact is awful. It's just an embarrassment. Giselle Shaw versus Deonna Purrazzo. Deonna Purrazzo, I do think we might see Tasha Steelz come back and get involved, possibly. I don't know. I'm up in the air about that. She's been gone for about 6 weeks. So she's been gone for quite some time. I know she is taking some time off, but she needs to come back, like, for real. Next, Bullet Club versus Team OK. Bullet Club's going to retain. Like, why wouldn't they? They just got the titles, like, 3 weeks ago. Trey Miguel versus Laredo. Lindsay Dorado. Cool. I'm glad he's with Impact. Hopefully they sign him. That would be good. And they could use him. I think he's done a little bit of stuff in Ring of Honor. A little bit of stuff on Dark Elevation with AEW. Trey Miguel's going to retain. Bully Ray versus Tommy Dreamer. Busted open match, which is basically a first blood match. Like, why is this on the card? This makes no sense. I don't want to see this. Like, this is boring. Who wants to see this? Ugh. I'm guessing Bully. And then Time Machine versus Josh Alexander, Rich Swann, and Frankie Kazarian. I want to say Time Machine wins, and then maybe Rich Swann is the one who eats the loss, and then maybe he screws over Josh Alexander at Rebellion, maybe, and has a little feud with Josh. I could see Impact doing that. I really could see Impact doing that. So I'm going to go with that Time Machine win. So, thank you guys for watching. Hit the like button, comment down below, and subscribe to my videos. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.